So I just had to show you the new backdrop to get us started today for the 3 Minute AD. Just again, it's on the YouTube channel. I hope you guys get on there and subscribe, like the videos. So today's going to be an interesting one. Today, I want to talk about something that happened yesterday, and this is not an April Fool's joke. It's something that really moved me to almost tears at one point and then anger at another point. And this is something that it's just an observation. I don't know how to deal with part two, but part one, you certainly know how to deal with. So at my old school, they had I was invited to a middle school challenge basketball game. And um, for those of you that know challenge basketball, I want to thank Ed Hoffman at Massapequa for starting the challenge program. But it's special needs students only participating in activities. And we've had a lot of these types of programs before. It's not unified so much because unified is played to a much stricter level. Um, this is pretty much kids get uniforms and they go out and play basketball, they play soccer. This happened to be a basketball game. So as I'm sitting in the stands and the stands are filling up with the parents of the children, my school had about 15 kids. The other school, I think I had 6 or 7. And there was a lot of fanfare, and they had a national anthem sung by an 8th grade student, which was blow your mind, with an accompanying pianist along with it. And then the band was there, and I guess they were going to do some things during the game, which they ended up doing some pep songs or whatever. And as the lineups were being introduced, the person playing the piano changed it to an organ and then kind of led them in. And I thought that was so cool. It was so impromptu and it was really cool. And, with about 150 people in the stands, I think they will appreciate it. Of course, all the administration was there as well. And as they're introducing the students, one by one, going to the lineup, they all lined up on the foul lines. And they got to the last kid on my team, and this kid named Michael. And I had been informed before about Michael. He was a big kid, little big heavy kid, and the teacher came over to me and said, the young man over there is really struggling. And I go, that's so sad. What's wrong? He said he doesn't have a cerebellum. I I've heard a lot of things in my life. I have never heard of someone missing their cerebellum. And she went on to say that he had issues walking. That was the thing. It was the motor skills that get disrupted the most when something like that happens. And it's obviously not common. But here's the thing. Michael's parents were there. Husband and wife sitting in the front row of the bleachers, not dressed any better or worse than anybody else in the stands, but you could tell that they were working people. And they introduced number 23, Michael, and Michael's the biggest kid on the team, so of course he's introduced last because that's got the XL jersey, which is the last number. That's the way we always do it as ADs. And he starts to kind of half walk, jog out onto the floor, and with a big smile on his face. And I didn't look at Michael so much as I looked at his parents. I don't think I had ever seen two people smile the way they did watching him go out on the floor. And I'm about 15 feet away from them, and I could feel the love and the pride of seeing their son go out on the floor in a uniform to play a can game that was going to give everybody a chance to shoot. Nobody was going to play defense or anything like that. And then the national anthem, of course, and then he came over and hugged them, and the smile never left their faces. So part one, tear starts to well up, and you start to feel, good about things, and then at the same time have some pity for what these people are going through. And we pray that it never happens to us, but let's think about that for a second, just 1 second. And is it where we want to be? We do things as athletic directors like this, not for the fluff. We do it because it's important to kids to feel a part of it. We don't take any credit for this. nor should we take any credit for it. It's the credit of the people in the special needs programs that get this thing going. They're the ones with the paras and everybody else. All we do is set up the gym, put the clock on, have an announcer, make it feel like it's a varsity contest. And we do our best with that. So then fast forward part two. So then I hop over to the high school and there's a lacrosse game, varsity boys lacrosse game going on. And I get there for the beginning of the game, and as I'm sitting there in the golf cart, and I'm behind the bleachers, which I usually never am. But I said, let me sit there this time and listen to what goes on because it's lacrosse. What are we going to get? And probably by 4 or 5 minutes into the game, what happens is, of course, we get a parent yelling at a referee. What are you kidding me? Make the call, do this, do that. Now we got a couple of security guys standing there. They're, listening. He's not cursing at the officials. He's not threatening them. But here it comes. And then there's the contingent of parents behind the bleachers that are, the crack committee that's got something to say about everyone and everything. And there's no smiles on anybody's faces. One elderly gentleman is off to the left, and why can't you catch the ball? Why can't you scoop the ball? Why can't you do this? And I just said the air of negativity from the bleachers, and the kids are playing. The kids are playing hard. They're trying their best. They're not the best players on the planet by any stretch of the imagination, but they're trying the best they can. But to hear the parents, and I wanted to grab them all and say, let's take a drive over to the middle school for a second. Okay. And maybe you'll understand what competition is really supposed to be about. It's not about you yelling as loud as you can so the referee can hear you and everybody knows that you're complaining. It's not about your little group creating vitriol against a coach or an official or even players on your own team because they don't play for a certain travel team or whatever. This is rampant. I don't have an answer. I just have awareness, and it's an SMH moment. It's one of those things. How did we get here? And as long as I've been on the job, and as long as a lot of you guys have been on the job, we got there because the outside groups have poisoned what we're trying to do in education-based athletics. There is no doubt in my mind, and I know some very friendly people that I deal with who work with travel teams. Guys, you have poisoned everything that we do, and we will never, ever get it back. We're just going to try to survive. And ADs are getting fired. They're getting called on the carpet. They're getting pushed into corners, and it's got to stop. So if there's a superintendent out there listening to this, do me a favor and back your AD, because he's not just fighting against the parents. He's fighting against the outside community that he has zero control over, that you're probably okaying them to use your facility and recruit your kids to go somewhere else, perhaps. There's a portal coming in high school. It's already here. We're trying to legalize it, but there's a portal coming. We're just not sure how it's going to affect or how it's going to happen. But the outside groups, they're killing us. Do they provide a service? Sure. But why let them control our kids to get them into college, allegedly, and now the portal's there and the kid's just going to jump? So what did they actually do for us? They did nothing for us. The kid can do that himself. Kid doesn't need 45 tournaments to get there. At least not during our seasons. So think about the Michaels of the world. Think about Michael's parents. Think about the love that they have for their child. And not because he's going to get to college to make their status in the world any better. He's not going to get there. He's not going to get there. He's going to travel through school. We'll probably take care of him until he's 22 and then put him out in the world. It's sad. It's sad. I'm sorry to be depressing on this. This is, wasn't meant to be an April Fool's joke or anything else. It's just an observation on my part. But I really and truly believe that we are at a crossroads right now in high school athletics. And I don't know what's going to stop it. I don't know what's going to stop it, but let's keep the conversation going. But please, guys, let's engage more superintendents in the conversation. Let's get them to be members of the association so they start to learn a little more about what we do so that we can go forward and not sideways, and especially backwards, because we have to protect those that are new on the job and give them all the help that they possibly could use to make them successful. Jim for the 3-Minute AD, subscribe and like. I love being a part of this association. I love being part of the national, and hopefully this can get some thoughts going or make you think. But check us out on the YouTube channel. That's where we're at, and we'll continue to go. But again, it's not 3 minutes today. Went a little longer again. I apologize. But Jim for the 3-Minute AD, God bless you all, and have a great spring. Enjoy. We'll see you soon.